Hello, LGBTQ plus DL men, women who secretly love us and support us. And if you don't identify with any of those labels, you're still free to subscribe to the channel. So, I kind of wanted to speak on the Keith Lee experience that Atlanta was having, but I also want to bring some things to the awareness of the viewers that are going to watch this and Keith Lee. As many of you know, I identify with being a psychic medium, and so there's this belief that a lot of things that are about us shape our path in life. And what I can say about Keith Lee is that I saw his birthday come up, and I kind of have like this thing where when there are people's birthdays, I immediately start trying to figure out their life path number. And so Keith Lee's birthday is 10/4/1996. So I have his birthday here, and I'm sure that you can probably see it, but you have the 1, the 4, and the 1996. And what you do to find a person's life path number is you add the numbers up one by one. And usually I start with the year. So you have 1 plus 9 equals 10, plus 9 equals 19. Then you have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then you have plus 4, 26, 27, 28, 29. And then plus 1 equals 30. So he is a life path 3. And like Billie Eilish, she is also a life path 3. And what I want to say about the life path 3 is it is known to be in the limelight. It is known to be that life path that is meant to be a star. It is meant to usually life path 3s are, I'm not going to say it's meant to be a star, but usually life path 3s are, well, I just said it. They are the movie stars and the actors. Usually that's where life path 3s are in life. That's just their path. And so Keith Lee is somewhat gravitating to that experience of being a star. You know, it is part of his life path. Now, I also have noticed that within Billie Eilish, right? She is very spiritual, I believe. And there are a lot of signs that shows that she is spiritual. And what I can say about Keith Lee is he seems to be religious, right? There's this knowing that within his path and what he is doing by being like a food critic, that that he also incorporates being spiritual in what he's doing, or religious. And what I have known is that he just shows his faith for God and shows his belief in God and something higher than himself. Now, what I want to say about that is that is very, that's awesome. I think what would help Keith, and also I want to say that Keith is also a Libra. I noticed that I was watching a live video, and there was somebody that said that they were talking about the people that they don't enjoy as a zodiac, and people were saying Libra and saying that Libras are like known to be liars. And I think that there are other Libras that feel like that is true, but to a certain extent, because I feel like sometimes Libras, because they are very kind in nature, and they have this wanting to befriend others, like befriend everybody that they come in contact with, they lie to keep the balance. And what you can also know about Libra is that it's the scales. it's the man or the female with the scales showing balance. And also in tarot, it is known to be like the sign of justice. Justice is seen as the air sign, the Libra sign. So, with what we're seeing in the media with Keith Lee is he's wanting fairness. He's wanting fairness. He's acting out from that that zodiac that he is, which is a Libra.
Okay, let's talk about it. Every restaurant that me and my family go to, we were either A, invited by the restaurant themselves, or B, was told about the restaurant 100 plus times. From locals, from people who mention me, from people who email me, DM me. 99% of the time, I never go to a random restaurant. With that being said, my opinion was asked for. So many narratives being pushed, and it's insane to me. But let's be honest, what else do you want from me? If I go to a bunch of restaurants and I have a string of good experiences, then I'm being too nice, I'm lying, the narrative is being pushed that my eye roll is fake and I'm lying just to help people. Then on the same hand, if I go to 2 or 3 restaurants where I don't have the best experience, now I'm tearing down businesses, now I'm being mean, now I need to shut up, now I need to mind my business, I need to sit down. Again, I can't win for losing. I understand everybody gonna have an opinion on the situation. You can disagree with me, you cannot like what I say. Completely understand, and I'm okay with that. But when my safety and my family's safety start coming into play, that's where I draw the line at. But what can't happen is when my family or the restaurants or anybody's safety start coming into play. It's absolutely overboard. Especially when I was asked to give my opinion. Because you telling me my opinion only matter if it's positive. Because if it's positive, you got my face plastered on the wall and you saying Keith Lee been here. But if it's negative, I need to sit down somewhere and you don't know who I am. That's crazy to me. It was so much positive that happened in Atlanta that was shunned by the negative. It was so many restaurants we was blessed enough to help. We went to an array of restaurants like we always do at every city. I'm gonna be 100% transparent, 100% candid. Me and my family will postpone touring if other cities gonna be like this. Every review not gonna be the best. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you want me to come, please understand, I will be honest. I don't mean no harm. I don't have no malicious intent. I mean that, and when I say it, I mean it. People be like, well, you know what you're doing. You know if you give a bad review, people gonna come and flood it with hate comments. What else do you want me to do? I'm telling people not to go and leave hate comments. I'm telling people not to leave negative comments. I'm telling people make their own opinions. You want me to lie and say I had a good experience, or you want me to only post the videos when I have a positive experience? Then all of the videos I post is only gonna be positive experience. Then the narrative is gonna be pushing. I'm only trying to be positive, and we're gonna end up in the same situation. And on top of that, I think something is getting lost in translation. When that happens, the restaurants that we are blessed enough to help won't be helped in the same manner because people won't show up in the same way because my reviews would be inauthentic. One of the reasons people show up the way they do is because they know I'm being honest and I'm giving my personal opinion and my personal perspective on the situation. But if I don't do that anymore, it won't be the 3 or 4 hour wait times, and now we won't be able to help business owners and we won't be able to give back to the community. In the grand scheme, that's what this is about. It's about giving back. It's about giving back to the community. It's about stimulating the economy. That's what it's about. All the other stuff, I'm a simple man in real life. As long as me and my family healthy and safe and we can live a comfortable life, I'm straight. Again, it's a double-edged sword. I understand with great power comes great responsibility. God made me for this. I'm built for this. At the end of the day, I just want to eat food, walk in my path. If you want to be on a journey with me, you are more than welcome. If you don't, God bless you. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all be safe. And nobody's safety should be on the line. Not mine, not my family, not the restaurants that we go to. Relax. Like, relax, bro. Like, I understand. I get it. But at the end of the day, what you want me to do? You want me to lie? I can't do that. I'll walk away from everything before I lie. I'm telling you that right now. On 10 toes. Everything. God bless you.
Also, I want to say that when I see his numbers 10 and 10 and 4, right? That is a life path 5, and then 10. What did I say this was? 10, 19. What did I say? It was like a 25. 25, 10, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, right? So it's a life path 7 and a life path 5, 5, 7. It's kind of known as like 5 is like the number of freedom and movement, and 7 is like the intuitive number, loner. 7s are my life path is known for. Using the intuition, they're known as the scientist life path, and then 5s love travel and they enjoy having fun. Now, moving back to what I was saying, when he's using his purpose, while he's doing his food critics and gifting others with like a philanthropist. And many beings that are on the spiritual path learn about philanthropy at the beginning of the journey. They learn that they are a philanthropist. And so what I can say is that even though I wasn't a part of that experience with Keith Lee, it could have been a smart business move with also incorporating spirituality and his philanthropist vision or ways to accept the table and then pay for the people that were waiting. Like, accept the table as his own, but allow somebody that's been waiting to sit at the table. And granted, it may not have been somebody that was waiting for like the longest, but showing that you are caring to these other people that have been waiting would have been it could have been a smart business move. But I don't think that he's doing it from a business aspect. He's doing it from a wanting it to be fair. And that's also what I want to touch on, is that yes, by nature of a zodiac sign like Libra, that is about balance, is showing the scales, justice, fairness. Here's the thing, because he is a life path 3 and he's moving into this path that he's moving in, which is being a celebrity. He's moving away from being treated like the lower factions, is what I can call it, because you've seen it in other movies. Like what was the Snowpiercer is what it was called, where they had the trains and they had the people that were just eating like the little loaves and stuff like that on the train, and then you had the people that were treated very, very well. I mean, even with some people are coming forward on social media speaking about how they're not getting as many views, but Keith is moving out of that arena of having to hustle like these other creators, but yet he hasn't moved out of that space mentally, because he is still attaching himself to wanting to be treated like these beings who are still hustling. Now, I was saying earlier that he could have made a smart business move, and what I want to say before that is that Keith is you're moving out of being, at the bottom. Like, how people start from the bottom, now to here. Like, you're already moving to being here. You've already had the attention from other celebs like Kevin Hart, and you notice that like with what Terry Joe has moved and started working with other celebrities. It's not that you can't be treated like a regular person, but you are moving into a path that is different from what you're used to. And so you have to find a way to incorporate your morals and values into moving forward. And I know that there has been people that have said things on the media that can be untasteful, but maybe security would be an option. And granted, I think that maybe you don't believe that you're getting that big, but you have worked with some people that are at that status. And I think that as long as you're being honest in what you're doing and truthful, then to an extent you're going to be protected, and you have to believe in that. Now, I also wanted to speak about some of the things that have been going on with these rappers, like that have been being shamed for promoting whole culture and things like that. Like with Kaya speaking about, rappers that had a coochie out, and I was supposed to, maybe I was supposed to say it like coochie, but rappers that have had, you know, they're promoting whole culture. They're doing promiscuous things, showing their body, but progressively, from times that used to be one way, it's the times have changed now. And I think there are people that have a point that it is kind of like, and I said this in a draft that I didn't post on TikTok, but I guess I can speak about it now, where there's this thought that, like, when we open Twitter, most people know what people open Twitter for. Okay, it's like the new corn hub. Okay, most people open Twitter because they know what they're trying to zip. But or it's now called X, right? XXXX. But with that app, right? When many people are opening it, it's like, I've realized that people have been using, when people are interacting in the booty do, what can I call it? The actual stuff, the actual. You know what I'm saying? The whoop 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 whoop. But what I want to say is, like, I've noticed that people are using OF, right, to create the content that they're creating. But when they're creating it, I wonder, like, are they doing these certain things is it actually pleasurable for them? Or are they just doing it to make a bag? Like, to make the ching. And what I want to say about Suki and Sexy, right, is that I feel like if you're making the ching from what you're doing, and with any other type of success, there are moments of darkness that you have to realize that you are who you are, and you're kind of changing the perspective of others by being who you are. Maybe you aren't a celebrity that promotes well-beings for children and things like that, because some of the things that are in these lyrics in the present aren't ways that they used to do in the past. That may be true. That probably is true. But the thing is, because whole culture is a thing, you're also showing that. I mean, how long, bitches been twerking and throwing ass at the camera? How long has that been going on? So it's just kind of like, when you reach a certain level of success, there are going to be beings that disagree, because the thing is, there is light and dark with every experience. And I seen something through a movie speaking about the fears, like that, the belief that within the darkness that the light won't return. But the thing about it is, like, and I think it was the Justice League movie where I seen that. And what I want to say is that, like, sometimes you are the change. Sometimes people experience you to change. And I think that Suki, because she's had so many people speak about her music and, the things that she does in the media, that, has made her kind of want to change. But at the same time, she's like, okay, well, she enjoys being who she is. But again, just like Keith Lee, when you're moving, when you're moving into a new direction, there has to be this, what do they call it? there has to be this releasing or acceptance of old ways of being. And yeah, I think that sometimes when you are known for something, and this is why I often think about how if say if a person did only OF, and I can speak about twerking in front of the camera, right? Because I had a video that I posted on TikTok and YouTube as a short, and I was kind of hesitant on posting it at the beginning because it was as if I show people that and they see how thick I am and how it be moving, you know what I'm saying? But if they see that, then would I be known for that or would I be known for my morals and beliefs and my spiritual teachings in my videos? And I think at some point within your career, there has to be this knowing that you can't control how you are perceived, and at the same time, if you making ching ching, you making money. You let that money what that money go and the coins. You know what I'm saying? Like that. A lot of people have spoken about the dark times and light times and being and becoming a celebrity. And even in my last video, I spoke about how um, there could be acceptance for people just haven't moved into the acceptance that people are who they are, and a lot of people think that they have to come forward and say, oh, they need to change this about themselves because they want that person to fit the narrative or vision of them that they have created. Like when people perceive a person a certain way, like when they look at Suki, they be like, Suki said that she was gonna change and she said that she was gonna do this and do that, but she is who she is. Like that's just who she is, and she's becoming who she needs to be. But it's also those people that are helping and pushing her to become aware of how she is being perceived, so that she can become a better individual spiritually. Now I have a song, right? And I want y'all to listen to it. But I haven't finished it and it's kinda like the rough draft, like it's a rough draft song. But I was thinking of Suki and Sexy when I was like, writing the song because I was just like, this sounds like a song that they would write. After I make this song, right, and it's like really popping and popular and stuff. I'm not sure if I'll finish it by this Christmas, but I hope to. But I wanted to know if Sexy Red and well, especially Suki and Hana would like to get on the song. It's called Thotmas, and I haven't finished it yet. But girl, it'll be a banker. Hold on, cause dum 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 dum. I don't know if y'all can hear the lyrics. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas, throw that fucking ass, cause you's a hoe, bitch. Throw that ass, throw that ass, it's Thomas, bitch. Throw that ass, throw that ass. Ah, ah. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas. I don't know if y'all can hear the beat. Uh, throw that ass, throw that ass. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. It's unfinished now. This is just a like a rough draft, a rough draft. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas. Throw that fucking ass, cause you's a hoe. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas. Throw that fucking ass, cause you's a hoe. Where the bank rolls top the dollars, dun 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 dun. Cash roll. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas. Throw that fucking ass, cause you's a hoe. Throw that ass, you know you a hoe, or whatever Stacey said. If he ain't got them bank rolls, you know he ain't getting bread. Dun 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 Hold on. Choo choo choo, run a train. Choo choo choo, give him brain. Choo choo choo, dun 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 dun. Throw that, 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 throw that. Uh. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas. Throw that fucking ass, cause you's a hoe. Merry Christmas, happy Thomas. Throw that fucking ass, cause you's a hoe. Top the dollars where the bank rolls. Dun 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 dun. Cash roll. Dun 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 dun. Throw them dollars. Dun 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 dun. Cause you's a hoe, bitch. And it's kind of like I look at rappers that are that way and what y'all about to hear. Like I look at those type of rappers as like the rappers that when the kids not on the bed and we're not even just talking about Christmas, but let's just use Christmas for an example, right? And you've been drinking the eggnog, and the kids, we were getting ready to wrap the kids presents and stuff, and then we started talking about stuff that that they would do with their baby daddies and stuff like that, and we started talking about that 18 plus action, and we twerk and stuff like that and have fun. Like I think like those rappers is like those type of rappers that is just like, okay, the kids going to bed, girl, we can twerk and we can drink, and the dudes, if they come over, you know what I'm saying, like, what's good, you know what I'm saying. But no, what I was saying is like, I think that like kids are like, they are a gift, but at the same time, like kids aren't like absent to knowing that these things do exist. But I think that it's a way to speak to kids about the music that is out, and to be open with kids in a way that, okay, like, yeah, this music is very popular, but if you want to present yourself this way, you have to wait till you're at an age that is appropriate to act that way. But at the same time, you know, everybody wants to teach their kids to have like morals and what they call it. Want to make sure that their morals and beliefs reflect a healthy home, and every mother wants that for their child. The mothers that I'm aware of. Now there are some mothers that what is that book where they talk about the kids and how no, they talk about the mothers and saying like the mother, you're not a bad mother or something like that, and it's like the giraffe kicking the baby giraffe, and just showing all of those depictions of mothers, right? Now I'm sure that it's probably a lot of females that are watching this video, but it could be some men that are watching this video. But I want to say that, like, even though right currently at this moment I don't have a toddler of my own, or infant of my own, or a kid of my own, there are morals and beliefs that I have for my inner child, and there's a standard for myself. But I also believe that there can be this incorporation of being intimately satisfying for myself and allowing myself to be free. Because when you do try to lock or put a lock on that being that is very sensual and erotic, and ooh, when you try to cage that, it is screaming to come out. It wants to be a bad bitch, and it wants to be a hood nigga, and it wants to be free to be itself. And I think that it's a tasteful way that it can be done. And again, just like Keith Lee is getting some flack for how he, is how he is critiquing this food, right? And he's been very open about, okay, this is just my opinion. If you like the food, then you like the food. He's just doing what he believes is right. But as long as you're moving in that way, it's kind of like you have to ignore the darkness and be of light in those experiences. And with Suki and Sexy, it's kind of like, because you are in a business, or you are the business. Suki's name is a business. Sexy Red's name is a business, but they are known for promoting whole culture, like suck my pussy pink, my booty hole, right? Where the niggas I look at my girl play, oh, and like with Suki, eat nigga, you know what I'm saying? They're known for these things, and I feel like if you don't like it, okay, bye. And if you like it, hey, turn up. But it's kind of a way that it can be done tasteful. It's a way that it can be experienced. And with the kids, it's like, okay, kids, I know that, you know what I'm saying? Even with Cardi, it's kind of like with Cardi, right? When she released a song, wow, it's some hoes in it. But the way that she did it, and also because she had a lot of people, promoting that song, like it's a lot more, people that like whole culture music than we know. You know what I'm saying? And some people are afraid to be that type of erotic and be that type of sensual because it has been shamed. You know what I'm saying? But if we are in a way that accepts it in a tasteful way, and when I say in a tasteful way, of course we seen some kids that was dancing to it, and it's kind of like, when we see things like that, we know that these things go on in the hood. We know these things because as a African American dominated culture, we've seen these things in the hood. And I'm not saying that there's not some wiggers out there, you know what I mean by wiggers, that's been in the hood too, that's experienced certain experiences that are the same as, they go into the club and they, not in the club, but I don't know, the corner, and they see the kids dancing to the songs and stuff like that. But you just have to be aware that there is going to be kids that do things like that. There are going to be kids that that their parents let their kids use profanity and things like that. Although I wouldn't consider it a great thing, it is something that has been seen before. Also, I want to say that with what was I going to speak about? I was going to speak about like how people of the LGBTQIA community, some ways of being haven't been accepted by people. And I spoke about this in a previous video that I uploaded about how there's a need for there to be a superhero that could be possibly LGBTQIA, and the focus wouldn't have to be on the superhero liking the same gender, but it could be a focus on the beliefs of the character through any type of strife that the character has experienced in the past and what they have built for themselves, with their morals and beliefs and things like that. But anyway, this video is about, the coming up from the bottom And what we consider the bottom is like living in the hood, being on social media, hustling, and things like that, and doing what you need to create that financial stability that you're trying to reach. And it's kind of like knowing that what you're going to do, and I'm not just speaking about, you know, self. I'm speaking about, every being that's experiencing life, is that what you're going to do is that you're going to become aware that not everybody is going to be accepting or on the same vibration that you are as you rise to fame and rise to who you are meant to be. Everybody thinks that when they become a famous being or a celebrity that they're going to be liked. You have fans and you have people that are in a disagreement of your purpose. And your purpose is to be that, to be who you are. And know that everybody isn't going to enjoy what you do. But you're trying to be accepted. And you don't have to be accepted by everybody. Now, also, I wanted to speak about like even some of the things that I have experienced and I in the past, and I've realized that sometimes certain things happen um, when maybe we have allowed a person to experience us in a negative light, and sometimes we just experience other people the way that we do, so it is preparing us to be in the limelight, to be um, some of the things that we are going to experience within other people. Because there was this guy speaking about homelessness in his TikTok video, and the thing is, you know, some people are having those type of experiences so that when they reach that place of high level success, like with Tyler Perry, being a billionaire, at one point he was successful. Why is it that there are a lot of people that have, before reaching this high level status of fame, they, are homeless before? But I'm grateful for, beings that haven't had to experience homelessness, but there are beings that have experienced strife prior to being billionaires and millionaires and things like that. But when I'm speaking about now, I'm going to be speaking about some of the things that I have noticed on social media that beings have said, about me, and I've just been in that place of allowing myself to view it, but not just have that knowing that it's their perception of me. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, they don't know me. They don't know me. I operate from the I am, the great I am." So yeah, they don't know me. But no, there was a comment on my old TikTok, and this guy was just saying, he was just speaking about how big my forehead is, and I was like, okay, and it's like, the hair been growing back, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it, it's like, okay. But some people, like, now y'all gonna be looking at it. But anyway, I want to just say that some people get on the internet and it's just like, okay, thank you for pointing out the obvious. Like, there is money to get a hair transplant. And I think that even if I did have the money to get like a hair transplant for like right there, it's just kind of like, why? What would be the point of, like, even with women that get BBLs, right? And I know this kind of like, this video is kind of like everywhere, but keep up. When I'm speaking about things like that, like this, and even with like the BBL trend and things like that, and it's kind of like, when you're getting things like that done to please other beings, because at some point in life these things weren't needed to be seen, these things weren't needed to be popular and to be well known. And I think that it's also, to get back on track with what we're saying, I thought that beings would speak about my nose, and I feel like my nose is kind of big. But at the same time, I embrace these things about myself. I thought that people would speak about how my tooth is shorter right here. And sometimes when I smile, it's kind of like, now that I would actually consider the money for it, because it's a story for another day, for another video. But oh, the ancestors was telling me to speak about it. So as a child, a friend and I was playing with a ball, a big ball, and he had a rock, and we was throwing rocks. I don't know why we was being like that, just throwing rocks and just kind of trying to block it with the ball. It's things that kids do as when they're younger. Stupid, because when he threw the rock, I think I heard my mom coming out or something like that, and I was like, like my attention was like over there, and I missed it with the ball, and it hit a tooth as a child, and it hit cracked it, and so it's a cap on top of it, but it's been like some years since it has been uh you know done over, because it can probably be longer at this point. But that's the only tooth that has like a cap over it, or, and no, I'm not capping, for real, for real. Now, to speak about like just some things that people have said about me, when I started awakening spiritually, there were beings that, because at one point I was very slim, and, you know, um, just very aware of everybody's thoughts, feelings, and emotions besides my own. And when I was experiencing them, I was experiencing them at a high level awareness of consciousness. And you know that movie Lucy, where she's kind of just like telling everybody everything that they're experiencing, and just like da 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 da, and just being very like kind of robotic, but just very aware. I was kind of in that energy of experiencing people and knowing everything that they were feeling, because I identify with being a psychic medium. But okay, now we're back. But when I was experiencing people, this one girl was like, she was like, "Are you hot?" And then I had some other friends that were just like, "Are you on drugs?" And plus, because I was, I had started identifying with being vegan, and so the way that I was presenting was different from the way that they were seeing me. So they was just like, "You all right, girl? You all right? You look a little like you been smoking some other things more than that, girl." But no, I just was at that time very aware, consciously. And so the way that I presented myself wasn't the way that people were normally, aware. But there were so many other things that I was experiencing that allowed me to understand uh, source consciousness during that time. The basis part of that video, and I think, you have to be in the place of knowing that it's things like that that lead me to believe. They lead me to believe that I am moving to that place of being known by many people, because it's those type of experiences that show me kind of like what I need to work on as far as my perception. But it's also like this knowing that just not every being on the planet is going to perceive you the way that you think that they would perceive you, but they're perceiving you in the way that maybe you are perceiving yourself. So, like, maybe I think I have a big forehead, and I'm not, Maybe I'm not accepting that I have a big forehead, but I don't. Shit, it's a normal forehead. See, yep, it's a forehead. So, but I really enjoy those beings that truly are aware that, like, they truly see you. They truly love your morals, beliefs, and character and who you are. And those beings shine over the beings that leave negative comments. And it's all a part of being um, a celeb, being known. So I have moved from the tree to where I am sitting on the chair. And what I was going to say is that for the final discussion, I kind of wanted to touch bases on Krishan, Jaden, and Blueface. And I want to say that the energy that is within that dynamic is just, it just seems like they might as well experience a throuple at this point. But at the same time, um, I want to say that I was seeing something earlier about deny them access. Deny a person access to you when they have showed you who you are and what they um, believe in does not honor your morals, beliefs, and things like that. Granted, some people can change, but a lot of times people aren't going to change um, in the expected way of the recipient, or some people do not change the way you expect them to change, and you have to be aware of that. Now, with Krishan, right, and I'm aware that she has that type of energy that is like a hit and miss with her. Like, I've noticed that Krishan is very much reactive to a lot of things, and she's one of those people that she enjoys when people stand on it, when they stand on what they say they're going to do. And when I say reactive, sometimes she doesn't give people like the opportunity to fully explain themselves before she has already created this experience of them. Now, what I can also say is that when I was watching the interview with her and Jason Lee, and she kept speaking about being an actor and getting into acting, being an actress and getting into acting. And what I can say is that if she wants to achieve that, it's kind of almost like her energy is saying that she wants somebody to put her on, and she's kind of saying that in so many ways. But what I want to say is that this is to Krishan, that consider moving in that energy that allows people to have that knowing that um, that you are ready to obtain that type of role. Because the reason that I say this now, and I want it to be like known that it isn't with any negative intent, but I want to say that many roles that Krishan will be considered for would more than likely be in relation to how she is perceived by the media. And so before moving in that direction, I would suggest as a friend to allow yourself to sort of be seen in a new light. And when I say a new light, I mean allow yourself that time to be seen as this transformative being, because this is the reason that I say this, because even in the interview she was speaking about Keke Palmer and how she didn't read the things that that were said, right? And she just was like, she just started going off. And that's why I say that sometimes she's reactive to things. And it isn't a bad thing. It's just this knowing that because you have made awareness to it, now you can focus on the growth within that awareness. But because she is perceived as that person that ain't gonna take no ish, and that's okay. These attributes and things that are about her are what makes her her. So she doesn't want to change in a way that's just like, oh, that's not Krishan, but she wants to change in a positive way. And I think when Jason was bringing up the experience of how Black China is being seen, right, and how she is taking this transformative change to spirituality and you know cleansing herself spiritually, I think if Krishan could make a change that was like her noticing that she's saying that she didn't have great communication skills, right? Work on those things and allow people to see that you're actually working on these things. And then I think people will say, oh, she's made such a great change. We can see her in a role that plays the sister that is able to perform different roles besides the angry Black girl or woman in a movie. She also seems like that type of being that wants people to be real with her and honest. But I think a lot of people stray away from being really honest with her because they think that she's going to be reactive to what, they're saying. And that could be something that's very true. Also, I've noticed that with Krishan, she sort of she's very trusting of people. And with Blueface, right? She was saying that she realized that she couldn't trust him and things like that. And with these tattoos, that would also make it a little difficult for her to be in these acting roles. And I'm speaking from the perception of a friend, right? Because here are some things that she has to understand. She has this man tatted on her neck, and to me, from a spiritual aspect, that would seem like that tattoo representing him speaking for her and not her speaking for herself. But now that she's speaking for herself, it's kind of like she's she's fighting what she's representing. Because her having his name tatted on herself, it's kind of like, yeah, you really do love that man, but sometimes the way that it's viewed through the media is that he doesn't love her the way that she loves him. Because if he did, when she brought up that experience where she was getting a tattoo and he was telling her to film it and say, oh, you were the one that wanted to do this, so you film it so I can show people proof of you saying that you wanted to do this and I didn't want you to do it, kind of in a way. And I think that should have been a flag to show her, like, hey, this man doesn't love you the way that you're loving him. And it's nothing wrong with loving him as much as she does, because it just shows how she's capable of loving someone. But at the same time, sometimes you have to deny people access when they aren't able to, at some point, get in alignment with what you are in alignment with. And I'm not sure if exploit is the right word, but I've noticed that in previous experiences, like what their show was called, Crazy in Love, where she was in the place that they had the lie detection places. It seems like when they are in experiences like that, trying to see who is lying, it seems like communication is also a big thing. And that's why I was saying earlier that communication could be a great way for her to move into this new experience of who she's becoming, because now she's a mother. She was saying that she wants to get into acting. So, she was also speaking about therapy. Her focus right now can totally be on her becoming this mothering energy, not only to her child, but to others who have experienced her in the past, to show that she is in this process of growing into this new being that she's becoming. There were so many more things that I could have added to this video, but it's already very lengthy. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want more, like, comment, and subscribe.